We're keeping track of the latest news regarding the coronavirus in South Florida and around the state. Check back for updates throughout the day.
6:55 p.m., Broward County has ordered all non-essential businesses to close in order to contain the spread of the coronavirus. It goes into effect at 12:01 a.m. Monday.
The lengthy list of essential businesses allowed to remain open includes farms, grocery stores, convenience stores, a broad array of healthcare providers, businesses that provide services for vulnerable populations, news outlets, gas stations, banks, mechanics and hardware stores.
Restaurants and food service businesses may remain open provided they follow the rules already in place, which only allow for delivery and takeout.
6:45 p.m. There are now 1,007 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Florida, the state announced Sunday evening.
Of that 1,007, Miami-Dade County has 227, accounting for 22.5% of the state's total and surpassing Broward as the county with the highest number of positive cases. Broward County has 217 confirmed cases.
There remains only one confirmed COVID-19 case in Monroe County.
Florida's death toll stands at 13. The lone death since Saturday evening's report from the state was the first in the coronavirus pandemic from Palm Beach County.
5:45 p.m., Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Jimenez plans to end his home quarantine Monday, which marks 14 days after possible coronavirus exposure from a top aide to Brazil President Jair Bolsonaro on March 9.
Jimenez, 66, tested negative for COVID-19, but he was still asked by state health authorities to remain in self-isolation for 14 days.
Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, 42, attended the same Bolsonaro event, but he later tested positive for COVID-19. Suarez has experienced only mild symptoms.
5:05 p.m., a Miami Beach police officer has tested positive for the novel coronavirus.
Miami Beach spokeswoman Melissa Berthier said other city employees and police officers who were in contact with the infected officer are being evaluated and monitored.
The officer experienced a cough, Berthier said.
This is the first case made public in which a police officer in Miami-Dade County tested positive.
4:55 p.m., with people being encouraged to continue social isolation to slow the spread of the coronavirus, there will likely be a lot of cell phone overages this month and possible for months to come.
On Sunday, AT&T announced it is waiving domestic wireless voice and data overage fees nationwide, and the waiver retroactively applies back to March 13.
AT&T also announced it won't halt service for wireless, home phone, broadband residential or small business customers if they can't pay the bill because of coronavirus disruptions. It's also waiving late fee payments for those customers.
4:45 p.m., a new coronavirus testing site is expected to open at Marlins Park, Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Jimenez announced in a video posted to social media Sunday.
We will have more details on Monday, Jimenez said in the video. There will be a hotline to call to make appointments for this drive-through site. We are finalizing details on the opening date.
The Jackson Health System, University of Miami, Miami-Dade County, the City of Miami and the Miami Marlins are coordinating to open the testing site.
A drive-through community-based testing site for COVID-19 will open to the general public Monday at Hard Rock Stadium.
3:55 p.m. Along with closures, Sunny Isles Beach residents now face a curfew that begins Sunday night.
Sunny Isles Beach residents aren't allowed to walk, drive or otherwise be outside between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. until further notice unless they're walking a pet, going to or from work or working with police, fire or governmental services.
Miami Beach, North Miami Beach and Key Biscayne are among the other cities that have issued similar curfews.
3:40 p.m., a fourth TSA screening officer based at Orlando International Airport has tested positive for COVID-19, the agency announced Sunday on its website.
The individual is quarantined and resting at home, the Transportation Safety Administration said. TSA employees who work the same shift and may have come in contact with the officer who tested positive during the past 14 days have been alerted about the situation so that they can take action as appropriate.
2:25 p.m. After resisting for days, the Miccosukee tribe is closing its casino doors in West Miami-Dade to help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
The announcement was made that Miccosukee Resort and Gaming will be closing at 6 p.m. on Sunday until further notice, although the tribe said some businesses would remain open. A press release did not say which ones.
To explain its decision to wait until Sunday to close, the Miccosukee tribe said in the press release, "While not considered an essential business establishment in the eyes of the government, we considered the finances of our staff as essential and wanted to keep our doors open for as long as we were able alongside the remaining businesses permitted by the counties."
Although under no legal obligation, and while some businesses remain open, we have decided as a sovereign nation that for the safety of our remaining employees and our loyal guests, it is best to encourage individuals to practice social distancing by removing ourselves as one of the possible destinations from their list.
The Seminole tribe, which runs 6 casinos in Florida, on Friday announced it was closing its gambling operations.
1:15 p.m. Gov. Ron DeSantis spoke at a Sunday morning press conference held at Hard Rock Stadium, where a drive-through community-based testing site for COVID-19 will open to the general public starting Monday.
DeSantis encouraged those 65 years and older with underlying health conditions to take advantage of the site.
As for the testing process, DeSantis said it consists of 3 steps.
The first step will be for workers to enter the car to take the temperature of the individual looking to be tested, which will take 3 to 5 minutes per patient.
The second step is individual registration, which should take 5 minutes.
The final step is to get the swab, with the sample then being sent out for results.
1 p.m. Broward Health has capacity to test additional people at its mobile COVID-19 testing site in Pompano Beach, starting Sunday. In some cases, patients can get same-day appointments.
The site has tested about 850 people since Thursday when it opened its off-site location in Pompano Beach.
The process to pre-register is
1. Get prescription.
2. Call hotline between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., 7 days a week.
3. Get an appointment.
For more details on the testing site and procedures, click here.
To schedule a time to be tested, patients must have a written script from a physician and then call the Broward Health line at 954-320-5730 to register. Once scheduled, patients will receive a confirmation number. Patients should not just show up at the site.
12:50 p.m. The boat ramp at Holland Park in Hollywood is closed to any additional boat traffic effective immediately, the city announced Sunday.
This news comes after Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez announced Saturday night that all boat ramps and marinas in the county parks would close until further notice, and that the Miami-Dade Police Department would be ramping up enforcement to keep group parties out of the water.
11:35 a.m. There are 67 new confirmed COVID-19 cases in Florida, the state announced Sunday morning, bringing the total to 830.
Of that 830, Broward County has 180 cases and Miami-Dade County has 177 cases. That makes up 43% of the state's total.
Florida's death toll now stands at 13.
10:50 a.m., the University of Tampa announced Saturday that 5 of its students tested positive for COVID-19.
The school announced the news on Twitter, posting Saturday night, UT has been notified that 5 UT students, traveling together and with other UT students during spring break, have tested positive for COVID-19. We sincerely wish our students, and any others who may be affected, a full and rapid recovery.
It's unclear where the students went on spring break or where they lived on or off campus.
10:05 a.m. Here are the coronavirus headlines to catch you up on what's happening around South Florida and the state as Sunday begins.
Black Small Square Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez announced Saturday night that all boat ramps and marinas in the county parks would close until further notice, and that the Miami-Dade Police Department would be ramping up enforcement to keep group parties out of the water.
We are in a state of emergency, and I cannot stress enough the need for personal responsibility, Jimenez said. Those of you not following these guidelines are putting others at risk, perhaps your own family and friends. And, you could be contributing to a much longer scenario and further shutdowns in our community.
Black Small Square. The University of Miami on Saturday notified students and staff of a student with a confirmed case of COVID-19.
Black Small Square. The Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens will have a drive-through community-based testing site for COVID-19 open to the general public starting Monday. The site officially opens on Sunday, but only first responders, such as police, corrections officers, firefighters and medical staff, will be tested.
Black Small Square. Starting Sunday, all Miami-Dade transit fares and parking fees at Metrorail stations will be suspended.
Black Small Square. Gov. Ron DeSantis said his administration might put those who test positive for COVID-19 or show symptoms of the disease in shelters, such as abandoned convention centers or hotels, to prevent them from returning home and infecting those they live with. As of Saturday night, there were 763 confirmed coronavirus cases in Florida.